Hey there, and welcome to the latest episode of the Mind Body Health Podcast with myself, Dave Sheahan, high performance coach, consultant, and dedicated for now over 25 years, if not more, maybe at this stage, to educating, motivating, and I do truly hope inspiring people just like yourself to live your best life, to realize your full potential, and to live a life where you feel that you've lived fully, and most importantly, that you live in fear of regret. And that's something that's really important, something I drill into people all the time. And I'm sure lots of people hate hearing it because I say it so often, but live in fear of regret because it's the only fear that you should have in life. There is no other fear to have in life except for regret. You don't want to get to the end of your days and not have lived that life that you want. Of course, the podcast is called the Mind Body Health Podcast. And on this podcast, with some incredible guests over the last, at this stage, I think we're on 80 episodes, as well as some monologues like this, like with just myself. We've shared some powerful, life-changing information all around mindset, creating a proper mindset, creating a mindset for success, around psychology and understanding it, understanding your thought processes, dealing with trauma, dealing with any limiting beliefs, how to exercise correctly and effectively, what good nutrition is, how you feed your body, how you feed your brain, how you fight disease, how you prevent diseases, how to hydrate correctly, how to sleep and sleep like a baby and get an amazing restorative sleep. All these different areas is what we've spoken about. And that's what we'll always be dedicated to speaking about on the Mind Body Health podcast. Because, as I always stress, if you've control over the mind body health area of your life, that's such a key foundation to everything, because when you've control of the mind body health area, it has a catalytic effect on every other area of your life. If you feel good in yourself, self-love is so important. You need to love yourself, to truly love yourself. That's one superpower, to truly love yourself. Because when you love yourself, that creates a lot of energy within, it creates a lot of drive and desire within, and you're more likely then to achieve the life that you want to have, that life experience. Because remember, you're holding the pen on the script of your life. And like self-love is one superpower. Another important superpower is truly not giving a shit about anyone else thinks about you, or that you do, or what you're going to do, or what you say. And if you truly get to those points, and they're both interconnected, you have to have very strong self-love to actually not give a shit about what other people think of you and what you're doing. Because if you don't have good self-love, then you will care. And I can truly tell you from personal experience, whether it's people I've worked with, as well as just general psychology and human behavior facts, that when you have self-love and when you don't care what other people think, your life is so much more enriched. And you have freedom. And freedom, I suppose, is what's most important. You've got that mental freedom where you're not being tortured by yourself as to whether you should do something or not do something. You can truly tune into yourself as to what's right for you. And, how do you get to that point? And that's a difficult thing for people, how to get to that point. It's great to say here, superpowers for anyone is self-love and not caring about what other people think. And then everything can be rosy. Now, it's not everything to be rosy, but one, you'll definitely achieve much more in your life. You'll experience much more that you want in your life. You'll create the life that you want much more, but you will still have obstacles and challenges, because obstacles and challenges are a natural part of life. They're just there, and a lot of your life will have obstacles and challenges, but they're crucial, and you need to embrace them. And, you need to grow from them and learn lessons from them, because that's what they're there for. No one's going to have a plain, straightforward life. Even if they try to be totally risk averse and live safely, stuff will happen. That's just how life is. And we need to, face that fact, to be aware of it and live according to that, because that's just how it's going to be. But when you've self-love and you don't care what other people think and you're in control, it just means you're going to be able to react in a better way, in a more solution-orientated way when obstacles and challenges do hit, versus going into moaning and making excuses and justifying poor decisions and actions, blaming other people all the time. That's people's default. And that's why they don't get the life that they want. And this ties into what I want to speak to predominantly on this particular episode of the podcast. It's about taking personal responsibility for your life. I don't mean just one area. I mean every single area of your life. And this is where, it's why I started about self-love and not caring what other people think. Like, that's the ideal place you want to get to. When you get to that place, your life will never be the same again. But you can't get to that place unless you take personal responsibility for your life, unless you take personal responsibility for all areas of your life, unless you take personal responsibility for the way you think and the way you react to your thoughts, unless you take personal responsibility for your behavior, unless you take personal responsibility for your health and your well-being and your energy and your vitality and the way your brain works. And let's take personal responsibility for your general habits and routines, which you may or may not have, and how they're impacting your life. Let's take personal responsibility for your level of productivity and whether you prioritize or not. Let's take personal responsibility for where your life is right now in terms of your relationships. That's with yourself and with anybody else, whether it be intimately or colleagues or friends and family. To do your mind, body, and health, to do with your professional life, to do with your financial life. So all these different areas, taking personal responsibility for them, where they are right now. Because where you are right this moment, as you listen to this podcast or happen to watch it on YouTube, where you are this moment is down to you. Nobody else, you. And the sooner you face that reality and you live your life taking personal responsibility for everything, the sooner you do that, the sooner you're going to be free, and the sooner you're going to be able to do whatever the hell you want with your life and achieve whatever you want with your life, because that is true freedom. Most people will not do that. They do not want to do it because it means that they can't blame anyone else. Now, this isn't to say that you haven't gone through stuff in your life and experienced things in your life and terrible obstacles and challenges, which other people have contributed to being a reality for you at that time. However, who was it that let that person into your life in whatever capacity? Who was it that made certain decisions that made the obstacles and challenges appear a bit more easily or appear full stop? It was you. It was you. So different if someone gets a terrible disease or anything. Yes, it's awful when people get diseases, but the reality is they didn't just appear. It isn't just poor me. It's not just genetics. People like to hide behind these things. If you get a disease, it's literally, let's start with this. You get a cold, because we always downplay a cold, yet it can be pretty bad. But anyway, a cold. It's your body basically screaming, it's shouting at you, you know, hey, you're not taking care of yourself right now. Maybe you're not sleeping enough. Maybe you're overworking. Maybe you're not eating well enough. Maybe you're not drinking enough water. You're not exercising. You're not moving enough. You know, you've consumed with negative thoughts. You know, your body's become very toxic. Lots of free radicals in there. You're sick because of it. Change your damn habits. That's what a cold is. Your immune system has dropped. That's why your immune system drops. That's how it gets attacked and drops when you're doing all those wrong things. It's as simple as that. Once your immune system drops, it's like your castle. And if you open up the doors and you've only a tiny little army in there and there's a big army trying to get in, the big army comes in and takes over. That's what a cold is doing. It's taking over your body, makes you sick. And the only way it can improve is if you call in reinforcements, which I always recommend in terms of antioxidants through smoothies, lots of water to detox your system and get all the toxins out, and lots of green tea for more antioxidants. That's my personal prescription for you whenever you feel a bit ill or are ill. But when that comes in, or other people will medicate themselves, you're basically defeating that army and then you feel better again. That's what's going on. When it's something like, again, cancer, heart attacks, diabetes, any of these kind of things that are more serious, it's your body literally screaming at you. What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Do you not care about this? Do you not care about your body? Do you not care about your home? Because that's where your body is. Your body is your home. Your body is where you live. So your body is literally screaming at you. Do you not care? And it's basically trying to get you to wake up to the fact that you have lived a life and had a lifestyle that has contributed to you getting this disease. Because like with cancer, every single one of us has cancer cells. But are you activating them or not? Every single one of us can be diabetic. But are you doing things that are going to cause you to get to a point where you become diabetic? Every one of us have potential to get a heart attack. Are you doing the things that are going to cause your heart to get so weak and under so much pressure and be unable to do basic things that it will cause a heart attack, stroke, all these different things? You have to take personal responsibility for every single area of your life because you're the one making decisions every single day. Every single day. So it's like if in the morning I was to get cancer, heart attack, any of these kind of things, my first thought process would be, okay, what the hell brought me to this point? Why did I get to this point? Why do I have cancer? Why do I just have a heart attack? Why do I have diabetes? I take personal responsibility for it. And then I look and see, okay, that's what I've done to get here. How the hell do I reverse this and get rid of this bloody disease? Because again, that's possible too. And I've worked with loads of people on all those areas I said, heart attacks, strokes, various different other diseases, cancer, diabetes, and so on. These things can be reversed, but only if you're willing to do whatever it takes, and only if you're willing to take personal responsibility for your role in making them your reality. It's same as obesity, throw obesity in there as well. And all their problem, everything. When people have digestive issues and all kinds of things like that, again, what are you doing? There's something you're doing. There may be other factors again at play, other people, other things. It's like even with food, all the crap that's in the food and so on. But you're making the choice of what you're consuming or not consuming, because it goes either way. Most people are not consuming a lot of stuff that they need to, and they're consuming lots of stuff that is not serving them, that is making them sick. Bit by bit by bit, slowly killing themselves, literally. Most people are living lives that are slowly killing themselves. And there's so many different aspects of this. I'm not going to go into all of them now, but because my main message in this particular podcast, I want to drill into you the importance to take a personal responsibility. And I know there's going to be lots of you who are going to listen to this, and you're probably going to hear the thing I'm saying about diseases and cancer and heart attacks, and you're going to be going, that's ridiculous, that's out of order, it can't be saying things like that, can't be downplaying them. And I'm not downplaying anything. I want to make that very clear. I'm not downplaying anything. What I'm doing is I'm pointing out facts, and I'm trying to get you to take personal responsibility for your life, because you need to. And until you do, your life isn't going to be the way you want it to be. Until you do, your health will never be the way it can be. Until you do, you'll never have the energy you can have. You'll never have the brain function and brain capacity that you can have. You'll never have quality sleep. You'll never, make decisions that will serve your life for the better. You'll never turn your goals into lived reality. That's the fact. This is why it's so important for you to, make sure that you take personal responsibility for all areas of your life. I'm sure you want to have great health. I'm sure you want to have a great career, job, business, whatever it is you're doing there. I'm sure you want to have financial freedom where you can do whatever the hell you want every single day, or you can contribute to causes that you care about. I'm sure you want to have a good mindset so that, you're not torturing yourself with negative thoughts. Of course you'd want it. Why would you want all the bad stuff? Of course you want all the good stuff. But you have to work at it. You have to be willing to put in the work. If you're not willing to put in the work, it's not going to happen. It's as simple as that. So you need to be willing to put in the work, and you need to put in the work, and then you get the results from it. Again, it goes back to take personal responsibility. And wherever you are in your life right now, wherever things are, whether it's really, really bad and dark and shitty and so on, or you're living the dream and everything's great, but no, there's more that you can do, more that you can have, more that you can be, more that you can experience, because that's life. I'm always saying evolve into a better version of yourself every single day. It's not about evolving to the best version of yourself, because there is no best. We can always, always, always get better in whatever capacity. So it's evolving to the better version of yourself. If you have that mindset, again, you're going to go far. But again, goes back to take personal responsibility for your life. You have to take personal responsibility for your life in all aspects of it. If you don't, you're not going to live the life you can. And it's a sad thing, because, there's so much potential there. Life is amazing. Life is precious. Time is precious. The openings are there. We can be anything we want to be. But we have to put in the work. And it's as simple as this. Like if 30 steps up to the top of the stairs, and the top of the stairs is what you want out of life, it's getting that first foot on that first step, and then the second foot in that first step, and then putting the first foot on that second step, and so on, and gain more momentum, maybe going a step at a time or two steps at a time eventually, but eventually you get up to the top of the stairs. That will only happen if you take personal responsibility, if you're committed to evolving to a better version of yourself every day, if you don't play the blame game, if you don't hide behind excuses, if you don't justify poor action. Because all those things will hold you back. All those things ensure that you will not have the life you want. I stress again, you literally hold the pen writing the script of your life. You hold the pen writing the script of your life every second of every day. Now, if you're listening to this, for instance, how many other things could you potentially be doing right now instead of listening to this? Like hundreds, if not thousands of things you could be doing, but you're listening to this, and hopefully it'll have a positive impact on you. And then that positive impact will lead on to another positive step, and so on and so on. Whereas you could be doing something that's destructive right now, and then that lead to another destructive step, and so on with that side. So we live by our decisions. We die by our decisions. And people, again, need to take personal responsibility for where they're at in every single aspect of your life. And I want you to do that. I'm very passionate about helping people to be the best they can be, but I can't help someone unless they're going to take personal responsibility for their life in all areas. And it's like literally flicking a switch. You can do it now, right this second. You can commit to right now, I'm going to take personal responsibility for all areas of my life. Does that mean you're going to be perfect that way all the time? No. Sometimes you still will go back to default, blaming, excuses, all that kind of stuff. But at least you should be conscious that you're doing it, and you should basically catch yourself and then tell yourself, shut up. That's rubbish. This is the reality. This is what I'm working towards. Let's go. and ignore the bad voice, because literally it's like a tennis match inside in your head. You got a bad guy and you got a good guy. Good guy who wants you to achieve all you want in life, and the bad guy doesn't want you to achieve anything, wants you to be miserable and have a crappy life, unfulfilling, and to have so many regrets at the end of it. And it's like a tennis match between them. And the way you manage your thought process and your psychology will determine who wins that match. So, the thoughts are there. You get thousands and thousands of negative thoughts today. It's not a case of eliminating negative thoughts. They're there. The difference is people who drive on and achieve a lot in their life and take personal responsibility, they're not listening to those negative thoughts. They're still happening. They're not listening. They're in control of their mind, and they're ensuring that their mind is predominantly positive thoughts and positive reactions and positive behaviors. That's the difference. We're all humans. We're all flesh and bones. We all go around with heart and lungs, all that kind of stuff. So, the difference is that people who achieve things and have the lives they want are consistent, they're determined, they've got desire, they just don't let anyone or anything stop them. They take personal responsibility, most importantly. And usually that involves in that they've got personal responsibility of their health and well-being always in a good state, their mind's in a good state, they're doing a job or a career or have a business that they love and they're passionate about. Financially, they're in a stable position or in a level of control, or they know what they're doing. If they've maybe overinvested to some degree, there's a strategy there, all that kind of thing. If you take personal responsibility, that's where you're at. If you're not taking personal responsibility, your life is all over the fucking place. And you're not happy. And all that matters in life is happiness. All that should matter in life is happiness. So we need to keep striving towards happiness, because that's all that should matter. Because happiness is what makes life worthwhile. And life can be so amazing, and it can bring you so much happiness and so much joy and so many amazing experiences, but only if your head's in the right place. Okay, so my take-home message to you, and the most important phrase is take personal responsibility for all aspects of your life. Stop hiding behind excuses and playing the blame game and justifying poor actions and behaviors. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Life is actually quite simple. Humans complicate it. And humans don't like to take personal responsibility. But the ones who do, which is only a small percentage, live the best lives, the most fulfilling lives. Because everyone's got their own perception on what that means. But that's what they'll be doing. So I urge you to take personal responsibility. I urge you to commit right this moment to take personal responsibility for all areas of your life and to drive on to create the life you want. Remember, you hold the pen. Hope that helps. Let me know. Let me know in the comments below, depending on where you watch this. Please subscribe and follow. Please share this podcast out with your family, friends, anyone you feel it would add value to. Every week there's a new episode across all podcasting platforms and put on my YouTube channel, and then we share it across all social media. So make sure you help us get this message out there, because the more people who hear these things, the better. So this is Dave Sheahan signing off from the Mind Body Health podcast. Keep focused, keep taking action, and most importantly, live in fear of regret.